Bless you real good, everybody. This your boy, Jason Moody, and I don't even know what I am calling this, because everybody got a name for, when they go live or they special moments on social media. And I just don't have one of those. But like with these COVID vaccinations that I mentioned, that I had a little quick conversation with you guys about the other week, I'm trying once again to understand what's happening here. Now, I know I'm not an isolated incident, and I know the people that tune in whenever I do go on are very intelligent people. So I know I'm not the only one that has recognized this emerging trend on television. And then once again, like I said, I'm just trying to understand what's happening here. Okay? So I guess we can call it what's happening here, right? But I'm noticing, and I'm watching, because I'm an avid television watcher, movie watcher, I'm a homebody. So, aside from today, normally I would be in the house, watching something on TV, a movie that I've seen 333,000 times. But, I'm out getting a little fresh air today, right? But I'm noticing this trend that is developing on television. Television commercials in particular. Now, when you guys view this, hopefully you watch it to the end, and I'm going to try not to be long-winded, but y'all know me, and sometimes that can be a bit difficult for myself, case in point. I'm going on and on about being long-winded, and being long-winded while I'm talking about trying not to be long-winded, all right? But I'm noticing this trend emerging on commercials in particular on public television. NBC, CBS, the cable channels, and, so on and so forth. But what I've noticed was that there are interracial commercials that are starting to blossom on television. What you mean? First of all, let me say this. I ain't against white folk, that's not my bag, and let me reiterate, I'll say it again for the nosebleeds, I ain't against white folk unless white folk is against me, alright? But anyway, I'm noticing that I'm seeing a lot of interracial couples on television. You got Nissan commercial where they're out in the desert, they're out in the car, the family's out in the car, and you got the black wife, the white husband, you got the little boy that look like a damn albino, and then you got the little girl look like she from Compton, right? A little hodgepodge of interracialness, right? And you got Cheerios commercials, you got Kmart commercials, you got a whole Walmart you have a whole, and like I said, you may have not noticed them, but hopefully after this you'll pay a little more closer attention on the interracialness that is starting to emerge on television commercials in particular. Now, I'm not saying it's wrong, but I think seeing all these interracial commercials pop up on TV deserves a deeper dive. Let's take a closer look, nigga, at what's happening here. Now, you know what? I'm going to the mall, right? And I never know when it splits to go to the service room. Anyway, all right, I got it. So, I'm not saying anything is wrong with that, but I think it deserves a deeper dive and a closer look, as I said, on what's happening here, right? Now, when you see all these interracial couples, and we can, on the surface, we can say that these companies, these brands are expanding their territory and are looking to garner more of an audience, more people to purchase their products, and of course, in the long run, increase the strength of their brand, right? Okay, which is cool. I can dig that, you know what I'm saying? But here's the thing about what I see that is happening here, right? All right. Now, you got all these interracial couples. You got these little rock jumper looking babies. You know, you can't tell. They call it, let me hit you with this one. They call it being racially ambiguous. Damn, that was powerful. It's called being racially ambiguous, all right? And what racially ambiguity means is when you look at somebody, you can't tell if they black, white, Hispanic, Kabla Asian, like a damn Tiger Wood. You can't tell. They call that racial ambiguity, okay? But here's my thing with what I perceive to be happening here, right? And I'm gonna sum this up real quick for y'all, okay? What I feel that is taking place with all these this interracialness that's taking place on television is that ultimately the powers that be, the white folk, okay, are attempting to water down the black race. Oh man, I hear it now. Oh, there he go. Take a close look, all right? Because if you get 1 million women, right? You get 1 million black women who hook up with 1 million white men and make 200 million mulatto babies, you know what I'm saying? Then as they grow up, they see that it is all right being a mulatto baby to marry out of their race, and before you know it, they create 2 million babies, and before you know it, it's like a cup of coffee, nigga. It's like a cup of coffee. You take a cup of coffee and you put a teaspoon of cream in it. Yeah, this is some heavy dope right now. You put a teaspoon of cream in it, right? It don't really change the complexity of the milk. You know what I'm saying? You may notice it, you may see, okay, there's something in it. It doesn't really change it, but add another teaspoon of cream to that same cup of coffee. Add another teaspoon to that same cup of coffee. Before you know it, as you continually to mix that cup of coffee with cream, the more you mix that cup of coffee with cream, the lighter that cup of coffee gets. Oh. And the lighter that cup of coffee gets, it no longer is as black as it once was. Somebody help me today. It's not as strong as it once was. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying to you. All right? So when you see these interracial commercials, I'm not saying don't buy the damn product or nothing like that. I'm not saying, oh, boycott these niggas or nothing like that. I'm not saying, buy black, just solely buy black. You know what I mean? I mean, that's always a thought. But unfortunately, sometimes our people, when we decide we want to buy black, they ain't on the level. And it's unfortunate that we try our best to patronize them, to be a patron of theirs, and they wind up cutting back on the product and going up on the damn prices. All right, y'all niggas know I'm talking right. All right, y'all niggas know how we do. Okay, so I'm not saying abort these companies or not spend with these companies or anything to that degree. But what I am saying is, now this nigga see me coming in here, trying to get a parking spot, and he wants to pull directly into the same one I'm pulling. I be that as it may, and of course, he white, okay? But that's neither here nor there, all right? My point is, you know what? Because I got this thing. I like to be able to pull into a parking spot and take up 2 spaces so don't nobody park next to me, all right? I'll run the risk of getting a damn ticket. All right, so anyway, I'm not saying abort these companies. I'm not saying don't buy their products. But what I am saying is, how come all of a sudden now we're popping up and it's sprouting that we got all of these interracial couples that are popping up on television. And again, I think it is an intricate plot to water down the black race, okay? Because as it stands right now, I don't know if you know, but if you don't, let me be the first to tell you, we are, even though we live in the minority, we are the majority. And the reason why we live in the minority, because we too stupid to realize that we are the majority. Come on, somebody say amen. I don't care if you don't like it. That's the damn truth, okay? We are the majority. But the reason why we live beneath our means, the reason why we don't have liquor stores in the hood, the reason why we don't have sneaker stores in the hood, and on top of that, what's even more of a damn shame is our people who were raised on fried chicken, you go in the hood, it ain't one person in the hood that got a fried chicken spot. Now that's a damn shame in itself. The yard bird is a part of our damn DNA, but we ain't got no fried chicken stores in the hood, okay? Case in point, when I say we the majority, but we live like the minority. Why? Because we don't know that we the majority, all right? So anyway, but back to this interracialness that I'm talking about. Like I said, you ain't got to agree with me, you know, and I don't want to be long-winded. You know that's not my thing. But when you see all these commercials and you see all these interracial couples, it is subliminally telling, and it's usually, peep this though, and it's usually a black woman being with another commercial. That commercial, I think it's a Geico commercial, where, you know, and it's very funny and it's very comical, but one in particular where the black woman and the white man, they have a house, and they say they love the house, it's good lighting, it's, you know what I'm saying, good neighborhood and all this, but they have a clogging problem, right? Remember that? They have a clogging problem. And what they got is these Dutch people upstairs who are clogging over their heads. So hence the word clogging problem. Now, it's very comical, you know what I mean? Good writing by whoever is writing it, probably white people. It's good writing, but when you look at it, it's a black woman and a white man. And when you look at these commercials, oh my God, I hope y'all watch this to the end. If you look at these commercials, when you see the interracial relationships that are taking place, it's usually with a black woman and a white man. It's usually a black woman and a white man. Okay, now why is it usually a black woman and a white man? It's usually a black woman and a white man. Why? Because subliminally, they're trying to get our women to understand that it is okay, which it is to a degree. It's trying to convince our women that it's okay to marry because it's going to be easier. Oh my God. It's easier to convince a woman of something than it is a man. That's why you don't see many black men with white women. Periodically peppered in the crowd, you might see one or two. But you don't see black men with white women. Because black men ain't as easy to convince that it's okay to just hook up and just link up and just bed down with and create a whole bunch of little, you know what I'm saying, ambiguity type babies. But a woman, it's a lot easier. Only because y'all just nurturing. And y'all just look past certain stuff, you know. But anyway, but it's a subliminal plot, I believe, to get our women to think it's okay to go outside of their race. And the more women that can be convinced to go outside of their race, that means when the babies are born mixed. Okay, and you know what I'm saying, don't get me wrong, I understand mixed. Look at my skin, you know what I'm saying, nigga, I wasn't born in Africa, my eyes is green, they don't come from Zimbabwe, so I understand what it is to be mixed, okay, but my point is the more that they can convince these black women to marry, procreate outside of their race, the more that our culture becomes diluted. Our culture becomes diluted, and when our culture becomes diluted, anything that you dilute no longer has the strength that it once did. Yo, it's your boy, All right, take a look at that. I didn't mean to go this long, but I hope y'all watch it anyway. I love y'all, man, from the rooter to the tutor. And like I said, I guess we gonna call this What's Happening Here? And the topic in particular today was the interracial relationships between a black woman and a white man that are popping up all over the television. Bless you real good.